Nigeria and indeed some African countries seems to be making progress in the fight against irregular migration and human trafficking, even as stakeholders have called for an end to the menace. This message was further pressed home with an awareness fitness walk organized by Footprints to Africa in a collaboration with the key stakeholders. Speaking before the takeoff at Admiralty Way, Lekki in Lagos was the CEO of Footprints to Africa, Osita Oparogo, and the DG of the Nigerian-American Chamber of Commerce, NACC, Joyce Akpata, who said there is great need for government and key stakeholders to change from white paper policies to real action if we must further make progress as a nation.
Footprint to Africa is a media and investment company. But you can't talk about investment, intra-African investment and foreign investment coming into Africa if you have not realized that there is a menace that's become a very big problem for Africa to handle today, which is migration and human trafficking. This is a first of several works that will be held in several cities in Africa. The next one is happening in December in Mozambique, in Maputo. What we are trying to do is we've seen that people understand, people learn differently. You see, enough of those white papers, conferences, talks will not solve the problem of irregular migration. We have to come out.
We are partnering with Footprints to Africa for the Walk With Me initiative, which is basically aimed at creating awareness around illegal migration and human trafficking. It's something that has been in the increase, and in the past there have been different efforts by government and individuals to see how to curb incidences of illegal migration. You see a lot of young people, looking supposedly for better futures abroad, and they end up
On how worrisome the trend and the level of progress so far, Alex Oturu of the National Commission for Refugees, Migration and Internally Displaced Persons, NCFRMI, and Cyprian Cheptonkent of the International Organization on Migration, IOM, had this to say.
Currently in Nigeria, we have various programs, and we are working with different partners, NAPTIP being key of our partners. We also have NCFRMI, and basically what we've been doing is creating awareness through different models. We have one of our key programs, which is Migrants as Messengers, where we use migrants already who've returned from Libya to share their stories, because we believe in first-hand stories whereby when they share actually what they have gone through, it creates more impact. The other thing we are doing is we'll be doing a community dialogue, and community dialogue model is whereby we create awareness from bottom up.
Migration is one of the major issues that we combat a lot at the Commission. In recent times, I'm sure you would have heard about the Nigerians that have been returned from Libya. These are people that migrate irregularly. It's not a crime to migrate. It is not wrong to migrate. It is a right to migrate. But when you want to migrate in a regular fashion. That means you need to have your, regular travel documents, your visa, your passports, and all of that. A lot of people don't realize that they need all these things, and they get deceived by, unscrupulous persons who tell them, they can find a way. So don't listen to, all those kind of things. You need to make sure that you have your valid documents before you embark on an international travel. Well, our agency is more of a second responder. That means that we deal with the aftermath, and we also try to do sensitization.
Some Libya returnees shared their experiences and regrets.
I finished my youth service 2015, so I was looking for a job, but I could not get a job when I was introduced to this journey. I could get to Europe in 3 weeks and make a better living and get a better education and better living overseas. So that is why I'm back on the journey, in order to make a better usefulness for my life. Because over here in Nigeria, getting a job was so hard. Submitting CVs, going for interview, but not being given a call up after the interviews. So when I was introduced to the journey, I decided to go in order to have a chance to have a good standard of living. The guy that took me on this route, we went together with other set of people also that was in his own channel. So when we got to Libya, the guy took us it left us in Sabah. There's a place called Sabah. So he moved with our money and went to Italy on his own. So we left us behind in Libya to find our own means of getting to Italy. So most of people that went through this channel went through this thing because these guys, they are called buggers. And at the end of the day, they just exhaust us from our money, exploit us,